On, guys, it's your boy John the Liquidator coming back with another video, and it looked like Project B is not done targeting superstar WNBA player Caitlin Clark. There's a $5 billion deal at stake. Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way up to Indy.
Okay, buckle up, because a $5 billion deal just hit the headlines, and it could completely reshape the WNBA as we know it. The craziest part, they're aggressively pursuing Caitlin Clark, sending the entire league into a frenzy right now. But here's the kicker, what nobody's discussing. This isn't just about money. What's unfolding behind the scenes is far more wild than you can imagine. Stick around, because by the end of this, you'll grasp exactly why the WNBA could be in serious trouble.
Now, there has been a lot of information coming out about the Project B project. Some people saying that it ain't backed by the Saudis. And Your Majesty, a lot of people saying that Maverick Carter pulled out. One thing I can tell you is that they're definitely targeting Caitlin Clark. I mean, articles is coming out the pipeline. Everything is coming out that they want Caitlin Clark to be a part of this thing. Now, I'm here to tell you, if Caitlin Clark be a part of this Project B thing, this could definitely hurt the WNBA. I mean, this could hurt the WNBA very bad.
So, listen to how he breaks this down. We're talking articles, news, everything hitting the pipeline. This isn't just talk anymore. Project B is aggressively hunting Caitlin Clark, and they're not even trying to hide it. But here's where your jaw will drop. The contract they're reportedly offering could force her to abandon the Indiana Fever mid-career. I mean, think about that for a second. The biggest star in women's basketball, the player who single-handedly boosted WNBA viewership by triple digits, could just vanish. And trust me, you're about to find out exactly how they plan to pull this off.
That could play a factor. You know, if they're offering her B, you know, in the billions, you know, now we're out of the millions. We're talking billions. I think she does that. I think Caitlin Clark will leave the WNBA for $5 billion. Who wouldn't leave the WNBA for $5 billion? Who wouldn't leave the WNBA for $100 million, bro? 10 million, 20 million. Like, bro, like we're talking serious money here.
Did you catch that little hesitation? When he says, I don't know if Caitlin Clark could do that, but then immediately pivots to, I think she does that, especially when we're talking billions. That tiny pause, that switch, tells you everything you need to know. Here's the psychological truth. When someone waffles like that, they've already made up their mind. They're just finding the justification. And let's be real, who wouldn't take $5 billion? But here's the massive point everyone's overlooking. This isn't just about Caitlin's choice. The real question is, what happens to every other WNBA star when they see that kind of payday flash before their eyes? Because once one domino starts to fall, it's a chain reaction.
Sit on over to Google right now. Go through this article, bruh, so I can show y'all I ain't lying. It says WNBA Rival League makes funding announcement after $5 billion targeted mid aim to attract who? Caitlin Clark. Told y'all I wasn't lying, bro. This is very serious information because this could change the trajectory of Caitlin Clark.
So he's literally reading the article live right there, and just watch his reaction. It's exactly what I've been telling you. This isn't some random whisper. This is mainstream sports media confirming it. Project B is officially targeting Caitlin Clark with a jaw-dropping $5 billion package. But here's what makes this absolutely bonkers: the timing. The WNBA just wrapped its most successful season ever, mostly thanks to Caitlin. Ratings exploded, attendance records were shattered, merchandise sales went through the roof, and now, at the absolute peak of this incredible momentum, a rival league swoops in with Saudi money and tries to gut the entire operation. The sheer audacity is actually impressive. But trust me, you haven't heard anything yet until you hear about the scheduling conflict that could completely destroy both leagues.
Project B is getting ready to shake up women's basketball 2026. Now, from my understanding, there I go right there. November 2026 is when all this kick off. I think the playoffs is over and the WNBA is over in October. So quite essentially, the ladies that do join this thing will play basketball all year round. And I think that's great. I mean, this is so great. Now, my thing is, let's say they decide to do this with the NBA, because I'm pretty sure they is too. Will it be during the NBA offseason? More than likely, which means that we would essentially have basketball around all year round.
All right, this is where their strategy either looks like pure genius or utterly reckless, depending on your perspective. Project B is set to launch in November 2026, conveniently right after the WNBA playoffs wrap up. So on the surface, you'd think, perfect, players can do both leagues, right? But then he catches this absolutely crucial detail. If Project B operates during the NBA's offseason, well, the NBA's offseason overlaps directly with the WNBA's regular season. Do you see the problem now? Project B would be running games during the WNBA season, completely splitting viewership, fragmenting the audience, and forcing fans to pick a side. This isn't about coexistence. This is strategic warfare designed to bleed the WNBA dry. And here's the ultimate kicker. They're weaponizing the players' own desire for year-round basketball against them.
Now, the article goes on to say former WNBA MVP Nika Agumake announced last week. We obviously know that she was joining. Now, while she's the only WNBA player who has announced her involvement publicly, it's reported that several other players from the league have also signed up. Now, my next question is, why other players is not coming forward and saying that they signed? I find that to be an issue. Because if they're saying that they have other players, why those other players haven't come forward yet? I just wonder, like, is it because it might affect their existing WNBA contract? I don't know. That's definitely food for thought.
Seriously, listen to the confusion in his voice. Why aren't other players coming forward? This is a textbook example of what's called nucleation psychology. Nneka Ogwumike goes public, giving the league that crucial legitimacy. But then all these other supposedly signed players, they stay silent. Why? Because they're still under WNBA contracts, and going public could instantly trigger massive breach of contract clauses. So Project B gets to cleverly claim they have several other players without ever naming a single name, creating this irresistible aura of inevitability. It's manipulation at its absolute highest level. You make it seem like everyone's jumping ship, even if only one person has actually committed, and it's working. The sheer speculation alone is absolutely eroding the WNBA's leverage in ongoing negotiation. But what he questions next, that's even more revealing about this whole shadowy operation.
Why are they only 6 teams? 6 teams? This is, I don't know how true that is. You would think you'll want more than 6 teams. She's just going to play. Like, I don't know. It's going to be the same games like every week. Like, what the hell?
Why only 66 players? His confusion is totally valid, because this is where Project B's strategy either looks like absolute genius or completely unhinged. We're talking 6 teams, 11 players each. That's it. Now compare that to the WNBA's 14 more roster spots across 12 teams. Project B is deliberately staying super small, super exclusive, super elite, and you know what that does psychologically? It makes getting selected feel like a genuine honor. This isn't just another basketball league, it's the ultra premium tier. Only the best of the absolute best get an invite. That exclusivity skyrockets the perceived value, which then justifies the massive salaries, which attracts even bigger stars, which then, you guessed it, increases the exclusivity. It's a self-reinforcing cycle of hype and demand. But here's the massive question nobody's asking. With only 66 players, the same teams would be playing each other constantly. Would fans actually stick around and watch that? Or would the novelty wear off in about 3 weeks?
Which we reported on that last week. $2 million. Goes on to say, how is Project B funded? Earlier this year, the Financial Times report that an upstart international baseball league condemned Project B was being backed by the Saudis. Yeah, man. Now, furthermore, it will be lucrative contract to offer to the appeals to WNBA biggest stars like Angel Reese definitely doing it. There's no question that Angel Reese doing it. And Kayla Clark, the latter of which perhaps the most prized assets in women basketball. I mean, there's no question Angel Reese doing it. Then it goes on to say, we're building a global basketball league So we want a global diversity cap table around that doesn't include any dollars from the Saudis. Now, this is what came out last week, stating that this whole project is not backed by the Saudis.
All right, this is where the Saudi Arabia connection gets incredibly messy and honestly a little sketchy. Initially, everyone reported that Saudi money was directly backing Project B. The Financial Times ran with it. Sports analysts confirmed it. The whole world knew. Then, out of nowhere, the league's founder starts frantically backtracking. He says, doesn't include any dollars from the Saudis. We do not have any dollars coming from them. But then, in the very next breath, he admits that a Saudi Arabian company is an event partner. Did you catch that massive contradiction? That's not a denial, folks. That's what you call financial filtering, or effectively, money laundering through complex corporate structures. They're technically telling the truth, while simultaneously lying through their teeth. The Saudi company isn't directly funding the league. No, they're just paying massive sponsorship fees that fund the league. It's the exact same money, just carefully filtered through London-based holding companies to dodge the inevitable PR nightmare. And just wait until you see his reaction when he realizes exactly what's happening here.
It is wholly owned, based in London. Oh my God! Now they're moving the money around. Now y'all moving money around, trying to say that it ain't backed by the Saudis, bro. I don't know, dog. But this whole thing is looking spooky, man. It is looking definitely spooky.
Seriously, now you're moving money around trying to say it ain't backed by the Saudis, bro. That frustration, it's palpable, because he's watching them insult everyone's intelligence right before his eyes. This, my friends, is classic sports washing 101. Saudi Arabia craves the legitimacy and global influence that comes with owning a major sports league, but they absolutely don't want the public backlash. So what do? They create shell companies, investment funds, and event partnerships that technically separate them from direct ownership, all while still completely controlling the money flow. And here's why this is so much bigger than just financial transparency. If Saudi money is truly behind this, then Project B isn't just a basketball league trying to turn a profit. No, this is a geopolitical soft power play backed by unlimited funding. They could hemorrhage money for decades and not bat an eye because their real goal is influence and reputation rehabilitation on a global scale. The WNBA simply cannot compete with that. No traditional sports league on earth can.
So Project B thing is very interesting. I want to know you guys' thoughts down in the comment section right now as we get prepared for a long week. Yeah, it's going to be a fun week, guys. Definitely let me know your thoughts about this. Keep them bells on. I will be back with another video. Like always, until next time, man, shake the haters off. I'm out of here, bro. Peace out.
Yeah.
Just listen to the sheer exhaustion in his voice. This whole thing is looking spooky. Definitely spooky. And he's right, because once you grasp the full terrifying scope of what's unfolding, it completely stops being about just basketball and becomes something way bigger. You've got Saudi geopolitical interests clashing with American sports infrastructure, all interwoven with critical women's empowerment narratives, and billions upon billions of dollars, all colliding in this one single seismic moment. And Caitlin Clark, she's standing right in the eye of the storm, likely getting barraged with calls from agents, league executives, and financial advisors, all pulling her in different directions. Should she take the money and risk being branded a sellout? Should she stay fiercely loyal to the WNBA, potentially walking away from hundreds of millions on the table? Or should she try to juggle both leagues, risking catastrophic injury or total burnout? There is absolutely no clean answer here. No. Every single choice she makes carries truly massive consequences, not just for her own career, but for every single woman who plays professional basketball.
We need to be to make a playoff run.
It's Clark flashing home a three.
I mean, anytime you get to be a part of the first WNBA team in Indiana, and the first WNBA championship for the Fever, and now an opportunity for the first Commissioner's Cup.
And then he just casually ends it. It's gonna be a fun week, guys. That incredibly understated sign-off, after dropping a nuclear bomb of information, is actually perfect because it totally mirrors how we all feel watching this unfold. What else can you even say? The situation is so utterly unprecedented, so incredibly complex, and so potentially destructive to women's basketball that all we can do is watch and wait. But here's what's coming next, and precisely why you need to pay attention to every single development. Project B's success or failure will dictate the entire future structure of professional women's sports across the globe. Think about it. If they succeed in poaching Caitlyn and other massive stars, then every single women's league in every sport, tennis, soccer, volleyball, hockey, all of it becomes instantly vulnerable to this exact same strategy. They could all fragment into competing leagues backed by endless sovereign wealth funds. But if they fail, it proves that player loyalty, community, and established league infrastructure actually matter more than just pure raw money, which would in turn actually strengthen existing leagues. So the stakes here are absolutely unbelievably massive. This isn't just about one player or one league. This is about whether functionally unlimited money can simply buy its way into sports, or whether something deeper, legacy, community, the very structure of competition, actually matters more. So where does this leave us? Caitlin Clark has to make a career-defining decision that could reshape women's basketball forever. The WNBA is forced to figure out how to compete with a league that has functionally unlimited resources and seemingly zero concern for profitability. And we, the fans, have to decide if we'll follow our favorite players to a shiny new league or remain loyal to the WNBA's established structure. What happens next? Does the entire system finally change, or does money, like it always seems to do, just win?